Welcome back to the DFS Special.
I'm your host,
Your DFS Jerusalem, coming to you live from the
listen, you got 150 entries and then you're a shark and I don't fuck with you. So
There's too much good shit on here. This is the often imitated, never duplicated. I'm here with my lovely co-host. Thank y'all. Stay safe. Enjoy. I may have been calling into work. You're gonna be in the running for the Snowflake of the Year. Get shit together with your Snowflake. I'm here at the crib, man, and I'm just finishing up. Stop. Throw them bitches in the main. I'm telling you. You're gonna see the results, bro. You're gonna see it. This is what's really gonna help you out. You know how I feel about the home dogs. There's a lot of fight in the home dogs, and I really think a lot of shit to go over tonight. Who that scored all them points over there? Player of the night.
get them in your lineups, get them in there, and let's go get this money.
Thursday, let's go, and remember, in the sweatshop, we always keep it 300.
Welcome back to the DFS Sweatshop. I am your host, the DFS Jerusalem, and you can follow me, of course, on Twitter at DFS Jerusalem. Today, we're going to be breaking down a little bit of last night's MLB action, talking about that 15-game slate that we do have. We know on DraftKings, it's an all-day slate. We do have an all-day 15-game slate, but I think the main is going to be about 13 games. 13 games are going to be the main that start at 7:05. We've got an early slate that starts at 2:20, and of course that all day starts, of course, at 2:20. We've got a 3-game turbo in there, another 3-game turbo at 8:10. So it's gonna be a lot of baseball tomorrow. We're gonna get our fix early, watch a couple of games at 2:20, then we'll be able to really prep for that monster 13-game slate that's kicking off at 7:05. And 13 games is okay for me. I'm okay with that. I would much rather around 11, but 13 is not bad. I can deal with that. FanDuel gave money back for those people. Okay, for the games that were postponed. Oh, good. That's good. That's dope. Yeah, because you know we had that one game that got postponed. It was the New York Mets and the Atlanta Braves. That sucked for that game to be postponed that way, and for those guys to already score. Tone Locus in the spot. What's happening, big homie? Kaheem Jones, Tim Newbold, Rudy Herta, a.k.a. Rhino DFS. Rhino DFS has found his niche in cash games. Like, this dude, he's leading like a cash game charge in the sweatshop where he's like, yo, everybody stop playing all those big tournaments. Come on over and double your money. he's been getting it. So Corey Love, man, just stepped in. Good to see you, big homie. Well, let's go ahead and get to it, man. Okay, first things first. TJ Cousins, Edwin Neves, the Chicago White Sox enthusiast. Yo, first things first, okay? Jehu, what's up, man? We got to talk a little bit about comfort. Now, this is an issue that the homie Paul Harless Jr. brought up in the VIP today, and he spoke a little bit about, playing our money even though we feel comfortable, most comfortable. And I can tell you, on a slate like today, there's two things that kept me from going, with the full 10% of my buying. Two things. Number one, so many rain delays and postponement issues we had all day long. And not just in one slate, but in both slates. Lane Elliott just jumped in. What's happening? We got Jeffrey Abbey, man. What's up, big homie? Great video on the Ball family, by the way. Yo, thanks a lot, man. Yo, that's something I'm doing, man. Because, doing this, I watch so much sports. And I chop it up. I chop up so much sports with you guys all the time. And even when we in the sweatshop, now, we mostly DFS. But we will talk about, recent issues, current events. Samuel, I like the drum. Good to see you, man. Yeah, we talk about things. They're sports related. Anything that's related to sports, we're going to talk about it some. I mean, over the last year, we have really gelled together as like a family, man. The new MLB thread is up. Yes. If you're in the sweatshop VIP, go check out the new MLB thread, man. A lot of guys are going to leave here and go over there and check that out. And, it just had been pulling on me to talk a little bit about the Ball family and what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong. So go check that video out, man. I think it's a video before this one. It should be. Just go check that out. And there's going to be stuff like that. If I feel like talking about something, I feel like I can holler at y'all. So, yeah, first things first, man. like I said, Paul talked about comfort, and I just did not feel comfortable. The first thing that had me feeling a lot of discomfort with the slate was, of course, the rain delays, the postponements. It wasn't like it was one or two games that you might be able to target. If the game still played, you good. If the game didn't play, it wouldn't really kill you. It wasn't like that, man. There was a ton of games today that were, weather concerns were paramount in a lot of the games. And then it was the pitching. Man, was some shitty pitching on today. I mean, outside of Scherzer on the early, a guy that I faded in one of my early lineups, I just rolled out two lineups in both slates. One with Scherzer, one without Scherzer. I did one with Straley, one without Straley. One of them cashed. I played like $11 total on the day. Got back $6, whatever. I just didn't play much. Plus, I had to go to an auction tonight and bid on a couple cars, man, and that went well. So that was pretty much my day. And tomorrow I've got a busy day at the barbershop, man. The appointments start for me at 8:30 a.m. So I'm gonna knock this out and give it to you guys, man. Really try to chop it up as good as I can. Lay down, get a couple hours sleep, and jump right back up and get it all started again, man. And yo, that's what life is right now, bro. Holland, Edmund Neves tried to put us on Holland last night. Didn't listen. I kept Kennedy in and didn't play Holland. Tone looks as he played 5 and got back 3. Like it was one of those days where, Benintendi, that play killed me. That Benintendi play, yeah, I had him in a lot of spots. Keep your eyes on Miranda from Seattle. Dude is underrated. Yeah, he's pretty decent. He's pretty decent. So let's take a look at last night's perfect lineup. This is for DraftKings, man. We're gonna roll through it and just kind of take a look at some of these guys because I know Rudy is doing some research when it comes to perfect lineups. That is his specialty. That is what really helped us break through toward the end of the NBA season. Starting with the pitching on the DraftKings main all-day slate. We've got Max Scherzer at 12.6K. Went out, did not disappoint. 36.75 DraftKings points, even more than that on FanDuel. Awesome game there. Matt Andriese, a guy that I did have exposure to at 7.4K. Went out and got 30.95 DraftKings points. We saw Cameron Rupp for the Philadelphia Phillies at 2.9. The best catcher play on the slate. Goes out and gets 20 points there. Danny Valencia, where the fuck did this come from, bro? Danny Valencia had so many hits. He had so many hits, bro. It was nuts. Finished with 29 DraftKings points. Cesar Hernandez at 3.5 had 21 DraftKings points. Manny Machado finally hit that home run that I've been waiting on, and I did not get a piece of it today. At 5.1, man, 26 DraftKings points for him. Tim Beckham, a guy that you did talk a little bit about here in the sweatshop. We've got 3K for him. 32 points was what we saw from Tim Beckham. And Marvin Gonzalez, a guy that I have been screaming for, champion this guy since he won me that money early in the season, goes out and gets 26 DraftKings points at 3K flat. Very solid. Seth Smith from the Baltimore Orioles, 29 DraftKings points at 3.7. And Keon Broxton for the Milwaukee Brewers goes out at 3.8K and brings you back 27 points. So this lineup, the perfect lineup tonight, was a grand total of 277.7 points. If you had it, I know you're smiling now. If you didn't, let's try to get it again tomorrow. So let's go ahead and jump real quickly into tomorrow's slate. Now we're going to go through all 15 of them, okay? And, well, the train, I live on the wrong side of the tracks. I'm sorry. The train. You see my money right here? It's my stack. This is like all the money. This is so much money. And this is my barber bank. It's a bunch of ones. So that people always pay with a 20 and you give them $2 back. It's cut haircut is like $18. So it's like a bunch of ones. Yeah. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump right into it, man. We've got, like I said, 15 games all day. We've got 13 in that late and 2 in the early that starts at 2:20. We're gonna make it all viewable here. We're gonna jump into that all day. And this is on my PS4, man. I've come to really love this thing, man. I've been rocking with this thing. It's pretty dope. Damn. Get that opened up. Now, the first game we got 2 games in the early state. We've got my New York Yankees and the Chicago Cubs in Chicago, as well as the San Francisco Giants going to Cincinnati to take on the Reds. We're gonna go ahead and chop this up real quick and see. This is why I can't wait for football, bro. Because we're gonna attack football in a way that I don't think anybody else does. We are gonna have shows for each specific slate. There's gonna be a show that's gonna talk about the all-day Sunday games. There's gonna be a show that breaks down the Sunday Monday slate. We're gonna have a show that breaks down the Thursday and Sunday or Monday Sunday slate. We're gonna be like, oh my God, I can't wait for this shit to happen. But MLB is still treating us well right now. So we're gonna start with my New York Yankees and Chicago Cubs. There's no point total yet. They never like to put out point totals for Cubs games. I don't know why. They just don't. Like, you rarely see a point total come out for the Cubs games early. And is that because, you know, the Cubs are in danger of being awesome, or I'm not really sure, you know, where that comes from or why that is that way. But we really see point totals for Cubs games. Okay, so we've got Michael Pineda on the mound at 10.5, and we've got Kyle Hendricks at 10K flat. In the early, you're not gonna have too many different ways to go because it's only 2 games. So you got to kind of get set on who you're gonna play. Or this is a spot where you can play multiple lineups. You can play lower buy-ins, but just mix it up a little bit more when it comes to your pitching plays, because you got, you know, the complete total pitch. You got Michael Pineda, you got Kyle Hendricks, you've got Matt Cain and Bronson Arroyo. We already know the least owned guy on the slate is going to be Bronson Arroyo. We already know that. Like, nobody's going to want to play him, and for good reason. Nobody's going to want to play him. But taking a closer look at Bronson Arroyo over the last few games, negative 0.4 fantasy points is negative against St. Louis. He had 25 against Chicago, 13 against Baltimore, 3.3 against Milwaukee, and negative 2.4 against the St. Louis Cardinals. So Bronson Arroyo, man, is not a guy that I see people rostering a lot. So if you want to be like super duper contrarian and maybe throw a couple dollars away, go ahead and play Bronson Arroyo in your lineup. So that's going to be a tough play, a very tough play. All right, so we've got Pineda and Hendricks on the mound here. Well, we can do some full game analysis for these 2 games, but we're going to kind of fly through the rest of them so I can get into the VIP. The Giants ain't really hitting, so why not? And that was the whole point, was, you know, of all of these guys, the guy that's kind of in the best spot right now is probably going to be Arroyo. Because the Giants have not been hitting the ball very well lately. So, but you don't want to just roster a guy because he's in a great spot. You want to roster a guy that's in a great spot and can take advantage of being in a great spot. And that would be my trepidation with playing Arroyo here. So, taking a look at some of the Yankees' bats against Kyle Hendricks, you can give me some left-handers in the spot. Guys like Brett Gardner, who's been super hot, Chase Headley. If Jacoby Ellsbury is going to be playing, give me some of him. Maybe some Didi Gregorius. The only righty that I like in this game is going to be Aaron Judge. And at 4.8K, I find myself saying the same thing that I've been saying against Thames a couple weeks ago. He can't keep doing this. He can't keep hitting home runs. And the dude went out and hit 2 home runs after I said he couldn't do it anymore. So, you know, take it for what it's worth. Aaron Judge can be a very solid play. How many strikeouts does he have in those good games? Let's take a look here. And this is a question coming from MLB DFS about Bronson Arroyo. Now, what I've got open now, I'm taking a look at QL. Well, you said 2 good games. He only had 1 really good game, 25.7. Yeah, yo, talking that shit, man. I cooled Thames off for real. I did. Thames is only good against Cincinnati. That's kind of what we've ascertained lately, that he's only good against Cincinnati. Yo, what up, Mo? Yo, what's up, Armando Gonzalez, the big homie? How you doing, man? Good to see you, fam. Is the San Francisco Cincinnati game at 6:40 Eastern or 7:10? Because FanDuel has it It's at 640. It's at 640. It's a part of the a 2-game early on DraftKings. On FanDuel, I think they've got it done differently. Because over here on FanDuel, yeah, they've got an all day, and they do have, yeah, they got an all day on FanDuel, and it's at 640. Yep, the game plays at 640. All right, so what you can do, like I said, give me a few of those left-handed Yankee bats. I kind of like that. Only righty that I do like here is going to be Aaron Judge, and that's against Kyle Hendricks. If you wanted to attack Michael Pineda, I can definitely see a Cub stack for you. You might want to go 1 through 4. Maybe grab a little bit of Jason Hayward. I think he is due at 3.8 against Michael Pineda. Although Pineda is a tough guy to hit. He's a tough guy to hit. But if there's any order that he can have trouble getting through, it's going to be one like the Chicago Cubs. So that's kind of where I would get most of my bats from. I do like Billy Hamilton in the spot against Matt Cain. I even like Matt Cain against Cincinnati. I could play him rather than playing Arroyo. 6 games with weather concerns again. Yeah, man. This game does have the possibility of delay or rainout, and that could cancel out this whole early slate. You look at 13-mile-per-hour wind going out toward right field, 61% chance of light rain, 46 dew point, and 50 degrees there in Cincinnati. And, of course, that Yankee game, 0% chance of rain, so that game should play without incident. All right, moving on to the main slate, starts at 7:05. The first pitch goes out. It's the Chicago White Sox and the Baltimore Orioles. We got Miguel Gonzalez at 5.6 for the White Sox and Wade Miley at 7.5 for the Baltimore Orioles. The last time we saw Wade Miley, not a very great game, but he's been pretty consistent lately. Hasn't scored under double-digit DraftKings points on the season. We're looking at 11 against the New York Yankees, my Yankees, 21 against Tampa Bay, 36 against Cincinnati, 23 against Toronto, and another 16 to start the season against my New York Yankees. So he hasn't been horrible. Edwin Neves just called out for some White Sox lefties. That's in play, but I definitely will not be playing any Miguel Gonzalez. And I think you can look at some of those Baltimore bats that I think are heating up from that road trip to Boston. The next game we're talking about is the Washington Nationals and the Philadelphia Phillies. 13-mile-per-hour wind going out toward left field. Is a 28% of chance of light rain. 91 humidity, 71 degrees. The dew point is 68, and it is a 7.5 run total. This game does have the possibility of delaying or raining out. Carl Mariano, what's happening, big homie? Good to see you, man. Steven Strasburg on the mine at 10.6 against Nick Pivetta at 4.7. Of course, I want nothing to do with Nick Pivetta against the Washington Nationals. As a matter of fact, I'm going to like a few of those bats. Bryce Harper had a groin strain today. Maybe miss some time. So we need to keep an eye on that. And Steven Strasburg at 10.6 does look quite appealing against the Phillies, although he's not Scherzer, and they do hit a lot better at home, the Philadelphia Phillies, that is. So you can take that with a grain of salt. The next game we're going to get into is going to be the Milwaukee Brewers and the Pittsburgh Pirates. This game is in Pittsburgh, man, but it's a 55% chance of light rain. There's a possibility that this game does delay or rain out. Now, we've got 7-mile-per-hour winds going out toward center field, 66 degrees there, 75% humidity. We got Jimmy Nelson at 6.6 on the mound for the Brewers, and Chad Kuhl at 5.7 for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Kuhl is a sneaky play in the spot, in my opinion. It's an 8.5 run total. This dude has not been, super awesome on the season, but 8 points, negative 19 we saw from him, 12.5, 21.25, and 14. Now, that negative 19 was an offensive explosion against the Chicago Cubs, and he is not playing the Chicago Cubs today. He's actually going against the Brewers, who hit home runs at an alarming rate, or had been hitting home runs at an alarming rate, but also striking out just as prolifically. So you might want to take a shot at him paying down if you're going to be paying up for pitcher or trying to get some of those big bats. Jimmy Nelson at 6.6. Not a player that I'm particularly in love with, especially when you look at how well the Pirates have been swinging the bat lately. Bullshit mode. I was in the money until ATL and the Mets game. Yeah, I got canceled. A lot of us went through that, bro. A lot of us, man. But that game being rained out, bro, it sucked. Braun kind of banged up. Thames not hitting. I can dig it. That's kind of where I'm at with it. That's coming from Paul Hollis, man, a big homie. So I think we can take advantage of maybe some Chad Cool at 5.7 in this spot. Next game we're talking about is the Miami Marlins and the New York Mets. Tom Kohler at 6.8 on the mound for the Marlins, and Rafael Montero at 4.5 for the New York Mets. Don't want anything to do with Rafael Montero. Tom Kohler kind of interests me, but there is a 64% chance of light rain in this game, a possibility that the game does delay or rain out. We've got 13-mile-per-hour wind going out toward left field. 65 degrees is the temperature there, and 96% humidity. So, you want to curb your enthusiasm with these games, man. There's a few games today that we're going to see that could delay or rain out. So, attacking Rafael Montero is a good idea, in my opinion. I think we can load up on some of those left-handed Miami Marlins bats. I think Tom Kohler could be in a solid spot. Maybe these guys are thrown off a little bit, by playing those good games. You think Jay Bruce is going to go back-to-back and not one of them count? That sucked for Jay Bruce, man. He hit another jack and it didn't even count. It didn't even count it. So you want to curb your enthusiasm about this game altogether, because it is a possibility that it does delay or rain out in a 9-run total. Next game we're talking about is the Toronto Blue Jays and the Tampa Bay Rays. You already know how I feel about this shit. All right, I don't have to go through all of this. Okay, let's check out where the Blue Jays are as the bats have kind of sort of woken up over the last couple of games. Let's kind of see, where they're going, what that rising. If they're ascending, we want to see exactly how it's going down. Okay, so I'm gonna open this up, and we're gonna check out some Woba, baby. You know where I'm going. You know where I'm going. You know where I'm going. Let's go and check this out and see where the Toronto Blue Jays. Now we're gonna open up, check out some strikeout percentages, okay? Now the team K rates is what we want to take a look at, because this is going to give us a fair judge of who we can attack. Mo loves Archer. They already know. They already know. Now the Toronto Blue Jays are 29th in the league in K rate. 29th in K rate. That can't be right. Oh, I'm about to say they're 11th in K rate. They strike out 22.6% of the time. Now it was almost up to 30 a couple of games ago until they had those few really good offensive games. But I still think this is a team that Chris Archer can blow the ball past, and for that reason, he is going to be on the outset one of my favorite pitching prospects on the slate. Now at 9.6, I think that's a premium, but I'm willing to pay that. And they don't have a lot of left-handed power that they can really attack him with. You look at Kendrys Morales, who has a decent BVP against him, maybe some Justin Smoke or Ryan Goins if you think you can go there. But I like Archer in this spot. I'm all on him. And another guy I like is Francisco Liriano at 8.2. Now he's going to be facing a lot of lefties in this lineup, possibly with guys like Kevin Kiermaier, who was 2 for 28 over the last at bats. You've got Corey Dickerson, pretty solid lefty, but going against Liriano. You've got Evan Longoria should be back into the lineup. That's a guy that you may want to attack him with. So, I'm pretty cool with both of these pitchers, man. I'm gonna have lineups with one or the other, but I'm gonna have a ton of exposure to Chris Archer. He's one of my favorite pitching prospects on the slate. Next game we're talking about. Well, let's check out and see this game. Yeah, okay. Next game we're talking about is the St. Louis Cardinals and the Atlanta Braves. There's a 51% chance of rain in this game in Atlanta, man. You got Freddie Freeman going up against Lance Lynn. I would love to play Freddie Freeman in the spot, man. 11-mile-per-hour winds going out toward right field. 86% humidity, 51% chance of light rain, 54 degrees there. Of course, it's an 8-run total. We talked about that. You got Lance Lynn against Mike Folnowitz. Think I can really, rely on some of these Cardinals bats. I don't have an issue there. I don't want any Lance Lynn. If this game does play, I like the Braves at home. I like them to really hit the ball well against Lance Lynn. I don't have any issue. You still going Dallas Keuchel? I like Keuchel. I'm on him. I'm on Keuchel. This game we're talking about is going to be the Boston Red Sox and the Minnesota Twins. 9-run total in this game. 0% chance of rain. 11-mile-per-hour wind going out towards center field. We've got Eduardo Rodriguez at 7.6 on the mound for the Boston Red Sox. And we've got Phil Hughes at 5.5 against the Minnesota Twins. Now, I can tell you, I'm not going to try to attack the Twins. They're playing really well. Going up against this left-hander, I think we can stack up on some of those right-handed Minnesota Twins bats. On the other hand, the only guys that I like in this spot are going to be Jackie Bradley Jr. and Andrew Benintendi. Those are the only guys I like in the entirety of the Boston order. That's it. From now on, I'm not stacking the motherfuckers for a little while. I'm going to play a couple of them that I like. The Boston Red Sox. I just can't do it anymore. Next game we're talking about is the Cleveland Indians and the Kansas City Royals. 44% humidity, 0% chance of rain, 5-mile-per-hour wind going out toward right field, 70 degrees there. The dew point is 46. This is going to be a pretty solid spot. You've got Jason Hamill on the mound for the Kansas City Royals at 7K and Josh Tomlin at 7.1 for the Cleveland Indians. Got no issue playing some Indians in this spot. I kind of like the top of that Cleveland order again. You look at Carlos Santana, Francisco Lindor, Michael Brantley. Maybe look a little bit further down the order to some Lonnie Chisenthal, maybe some Jason Kipnis. I like a little bit of that. If you want to attack Josh Tomlin, there's a couple of ways you can do that. But man, on a 15-game slate all day or a 13-game, man, I just don't think you have to play any Kansas City guys. I don't think you have to. But if you want to take a look at one, maybe some Mike Moustakas, Eric Hosmer, maybe some Brandon Moss in this spot. Next guys we're talking about. This is going to be the game. This game is going to be the one that everybody's going to have exposure to. I can guarantee it. I'm going to sit back and light one up on this one. Because this is the game everybody's going to have exposure to. We've got the Arizona Cardinals going to Coors to take on the Rockies. Yo, this everybody's going to have exposure to this game. And for good reason, man. Taking a look, we've got Zach Greinke at 7.7 and Tyler Anderson at 5.2. So you automatically want to get a hold of some of those right-handed Arizona bats, and you also want to grab Charlie Blackmon. You make a stand on someone, Mo. Yo, I'm gonna tell you who I'm a guy I love tomorrow. Like absolutely, I love Charlie Blackmon tomorrow. Yo, I fucking love Charlie Blackmon. I think he's in such a great spot. The total on this game is 10.5. And Charlie Blackmon, to me, is a guy that if this game blows up and you don't play a lot of guys in this game, if you got Charlie Blackmon, I think you'll be good. It's also a game, if the game is a letdown, is a complete letdown, and nobody really goes the fuck off, Charlie Blackmon is still going to be good. You know what I mean? Charlie Blackmon is one of my favorite plays on the slate. My favorite plays on the slate altogether. I love him in this spot. Nolan Arenado is also a guy that might be due. You do want to take a... Okay, Ian Desmond just jumped off to Kaheem Jones. Ian Desmond just jumped off at 4.9K. And I can dig that, but Charlie Blackmon leading off, going to get that extra turnaround and get another extra at bat? What? Bruh. Give me some of that Charlie Blackmon. I'm all in. Blackmon, DJ Power, great DVP on Switch. I checked that out as well. Yeah, I love that. I'm all in there. So I will not be having any Zach Greinke. I will not play a pitcher in Coors. Either one of these pitchers are probably going to be one of the lowest owned cats you will ever see on DraftKings or FanDuel slate. Either one. So if you want to be like extra completely contrarian, play one of these pitchers. I'm not. But this is going to be a good game in my opinion. I think it's going to be a good game. This is going to be a good one. Goldschmidt also jumps off of the page, but at 5.5, I just don't think I can get there. I really don't. Now, see, you can have, a ton of exposure to the Arizona and the Colorado guys. You can do that, but you're going to have to pay down for pitching. Me, I'm going to grab a couple that I like. One from both sides maybe, and still get the pitching that I want. That's the way I'm going to approach this. Next game we're talking about is the Detroit Tigers and the Oakland Athletics. We got Andrew Triggs at 6.7 and Jordan Zimmerman at 6K. Now I'm going to tell you, man, Triggs. Hey, man. Hey, nice to see you, big homie. I'm trying to get it done, man. Now, Andrew Triggs, man, had a smoker the last time against the Houston Astros. Put up 33.55 DraftKings points. The game before that, 1.7. Before that, 25.7. against Kansas City before that, 20.5 and 14.55 to start the season against the Angels. So Andrew Triggs, man, is interesting in this spot. The only thing that would kind of take me, out of the way is the fact that we get Miguel Cabrera back, and he really protect hitters. Like Travis Jackson, what's up, big homie? He really protects hitters in this order. And, it's not like he's still hurt. Miguel came back his first game, smashed one, So while I think, Triggs is going to be a very, very, very contrarian play, I think I can get behind him in this spot. I am going to take a shot at him somewhere. Because in this slate, I'm going to be rolling out between 5 and 10 lineups. I might have some Triggs somewhere. Now, Jordan Zimmerman, that's a guy at 6K. If you wanted to use him to attack the weaknesses in this Oakland order, I think you could do that. I mean, you've got Matt Joyce and Jed Lowry, maybe some Yonder Alonso. Stephen Vaught had a good one out last time. But those guys don't particularly scare me. And if I'm trying to get heavy exposure to cores, I can play Jordan Zimmerman in the spot and hope for the best. We look at his last few games over here on DraftKings. 13.85 against the White Sox, 2.3 against Seattle, 4.9 against Tampa Bay, 1.1 against Minnesota, and 17.9 to start the season against the Boston Red Sox. So while he is extremely inconsistent and just honestly hasn't been, very, very good, against this Oakland order, man, he could have some success. He could. This game we're talking about is the Houston Astros and the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. We've got Dallas Keuchel on the mound at 10.4, a guy I think is going to be very popular. We discovered Tomlin is not pitching. Who is going to be the pitcher in that spot? Give us that right now so we can make sense of it. Marquez pitched 6 innings, 8 Ks, and 1 walk versus Arizona last time out. Don't sleep on Greinke. Okay, I can dig it. So we've got Keuchel. So Salazar pitching for Cleveland. Salazar is pitching for Cleveland. Let's open it up on. We've got DraftKings open here. Go ahead and confirm that. Yeah, we do have Danny Salazar at 10K against Kansas City. Oh my God, that could be. Oh, because his start rained out. That could be a 10K game for Salazar against Kansas City. Yeah, man, that could be a 10K game there. He might cost 10K and get 10Ks. That's something to pay attention to, most certainly. All right, thank you, man. Yeah, Salazar versus Kansas City is pretty nice. So we've got Keuchel and Jesse Chavez. I loved Keuchel a lot more until I realized that we're going to see Salazar, man. Now, he doesn't have the control that a true... That's the one thing Salazar is missing in this game. Once he's going to develop it. He's still a young pitcher. Once he develops that control, that pinpoint accuracy, the fastball, the stuff on the fastball is there. He throws a really nice backdoor slider. It's there, right? So all he has to do is get that control down, man. He's going to be one of the better pitchers in the league. So I do like him tomorrow against Kansas City. I think the curve is so big for him, against those guys that you can definitely take advantage of him, which actually takes me a little bit off of Dallas Keuchel in this spot because he's going against the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, a left-handed bat. They do have that right-handed power hitting. You look at Mike Trout, Albert Pujols, Jeffrey Marte can swing for power when he wants to. Andrelton Simmons is a pretty decent hitter when he gets a chance. Cole Calhoun actually hits lefties pretty well, so I think I would rather go Salazar over Keuchel in the spot, man. No Jesse Chavez for me. Will I attack him with some of these Houston bats? Quite possibly. Maybe some Brian McCann at catcher at 3.2. I might be able to get behind that. He's always lacked control, but his stuff is nasty. Has been since 2014 when he started the wild card game as a rookie. That's coming from Jacob Banker. These guys are on it in here. This game we're talking about. Doesn't it seem like the Dodgers like never leave California? Either they're playing San Diego or they're playing the Giants. It's like that's the only two teams they play. Come on, Dodgers. We got Kenta Maeda at 9.8 against Julius Chassin. Kind of like Maeda in the spot at 9.8. There's a ton of great pitching on this stage. This is going to be a nice one. Because, if you have to just leave it up to us to get our bats right, we're good. Pitching is what throws us off, man, because we've been seeing such crazy, pitching performances where the cheapest guy on the slate goes out and scores 30 points, But on a slate like this, where there's a lot of solid pitching, we'll be less prone, to roster shit pitchers. So I kind of like this. This is like one of my favorite states. I feel like Colorado has played in Cali the whole month. All right, so I posted that earlier pitching tonight. Got you. Shout out to Andy Williams, man. Thank you, man. Dude, hey, they work hard in the shop too, bro. Chasson is a no for me against the Dodgers. Right-handed guy. I will be getting some of these left-handed bats, even though the Padres park, Petco is not like a specific hitter-friendly park, but Chasson, man, he can give it up. He may not give up a ton of long balls, but he can give it up. He can give up some hits. So give me a couple of those Dodgers guys. Don't want to play any of the Padres guys at home against Kenta Maeda. I'm good on that. Next game we're talking about. Just wait for Roto to pick the pitcher so you know who not to play. All right. Last game on the slate. Really good pitching we got here too. You got Darvish at 11.2, which is quite priced up. Let's check him out. And his last couple of starts, Darvish actually had some decent ones. Last two games, 31 and 30. He had 9 points against Oakland, 35 against the Angels, 17 against Oakland again, and 8.8 against the Cleveland Indians. So, Chesson got rocked opening day by the Dodgers. 14 runs. Yeah, 14 runs. Yeah, MLB DFS has changed all about fading pitchers. Even that's what it's about. It's MLB DFS right now is not about the pitchers you play. It's about the pitchers you don't play. You know what I mean? It's about avoiding the pitfalls of pitching. If that makes sense. I hope it does. So, Darvish at 11.2. The dude's been pretty good this year. No Darvish in Seattle. They scored 11 runs again tonight. And that's my one trepidation is the fact that I've got guys at lower price points. Like if I'm paying up for pitching, and I consider this paying up, you give me Salazar and Archer, and I consider myself paying up for pitching. It's still going to be a little tough to get a lot of the bats that I really want to take advantage of. So, Darvish is kind of going to be out of my price range at 11.2. Giovanni Gallardo, not a guy that I want to play anybody against the Texas Rangers. As a matter of fact, give me some of that left-handed love. Darvish is good on the road. I think whoever stacks right against that ace that gets rocked tomorrow wins all the money. And that's usually how it goes down, bro. That's usually how it goes down on these 13, 15 game slates. Like whoever plays against the best pitcher that has the worst game, whoever plays the bats against the best pitcher that has the worst game, usually does very well. And that's going to be our goal, man. It's a stack against the chalk. So when we go out, we listen to other podcasts, other shows, we chop it up in various groups, and we get to feel the lay of the land, see who everybody's going to be on. We can make a decision like, this dude right here, for example, whoever, seems to be the chalk. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stack against the chalk. Because your first thought is going to be like, well, everybody likes him, but I don't like him, so I'm going to fade him. Well, I don't want you to stop there. Not only do I want you to fade that cat, I want you to stack against him. That's how you win tournaments, okay? So this Texas Rangers game, 10 mile per hour wind going out toward center field, but it's at Safeco in the dome. Really won't matter too much. 7.5 run total, not a very high run total, but I like a couple of Texas Ranger guys in the spot. Give me some left-handers there. Seattle has been hitting the ball really well lately. Do I want to attack Darvish in this spot? Quite possibly. But how well the Seattle Mariners have been playing, I may take a shot at doing that. So we went through, all 15 games on the slate. Go ahead and get into that all day. Reserve your entries now if you're playing single entries, if you're playing tournaments. Remember, do not ignore your cash games. The big homie Rhino DFS will let you know. It's a very good way to stay above the cash line and to stay profitable as the season goes on and we see more trends develop, and then you can ease your way into the tournaments. But whatever you do, man, just stick close, man. And we're here in the VIP, man. We're here to help. Anything we can do to give you that information, give you that boost, help you get your game right. That's what we are here for. It's very simple. All you got to do is go to the website, dfssweatshop.com. That's where you can link up with us upon your paid subscription. I will welcome you with open arms into the Facebook VIP where we can chop it up, where we do chop it up. We're about to go have that session right now. The number one thing I want you to do in the sweatshop is keep it 300 and make some lineups in the turbo and throw them bitches in the main. Peace. Let's get to it, y'all.